overrated hip hop groups ever is the Roots. And I'm not saying that because of the group themselves. Obviously, they're pretty talented guys. But more the media and the fan treatment of what they do and how they're basically deified for playing live instruments. You always hear critics and fans saying, oh man, it's so awesome. That guy did that with like an upright bass and a violin instead of a turntable. But I look at that the same way my man Dom Irrera does stand-up comedians that start jokes with true story. And he's like, no, how about something funny that you made up? That's kind of the way I look at the Roots. Yeah, that's pretty good for something you did with a band, but how about something great you did with a turntable and a computer? The other thing that kind of annoys me about the Roots fan base is for some reason, white people love the Roots. You ask a white dude his favorite bands, they're like John Mayer, Fish, and the Roots. And I don't really understand how you make that connection. The other thing about the way critics and fans treat the Roots that bothers me is that they hold them in this extremely high esteem for being, conscious and anti-commercialism, when in reality their biggest hits have been pop rap songs. They do commercials, they do late night TV, they'll be on the Grammys with Jay-Z or Eminem, and like really, you can't be a conscious band and go back up the guy that does big pimping. I love Run-DMC. I hate Run's House. What Run-DMC did in the 80s is incredible. From the style of dress to the sound of the music to the endorsement deals that they started with Adidas, what they did with hip hop was amazing, and they did it 25 years ago, and the game would be nowhere near where it is today if it wasn't for Run-DMC. But Run's House is an abomination, and here's why. I'm right at the age where Run-DMC were like superheroes to me. If you would ask me when I was little my favorite superheroes, I would say Batman, Spider-Man, and Run-DMC. But now, I gotta watch this guy who's one of my heroes and an idol just get punked by his fat, annoying, whiny wife, had to pump all kind of money into his kid's stupid shoe business that I think are already for sale at Marshall's, and then hear his other two kids try to rap. Apparently Diggy Simmons is the future of hip hop, which I find hard to believe, but that's what MTV.com is telling me. But, and then I gotta watch this guy who I grew up wanting to be like in his bathtub at the end of every show, typing with his thumbs thoughts on life. Some of the thoughts are okay, they're positive thoughts or whatever, but man, come on, dude. And I understand Run was a persona, and what he did with Run-DMC was an image, but I want to believe that. I don't want to see him with his family mowing the lawn. I want to see him in all black with Sholto Adidas, no laces on, screaming on people like he was back in the 80s, and now this is just destroying the fantasy. It's like seeing Superman in the hospital at the end of Superman Returns. Even though you're an adult, it kind of messes you up a little bit. Sipping scissor or abusing cough medicine is radically overrated. I don't want to turn this into a PSA because we're all adults and we all make our own decisions. But if you're still sipping on that now, you're not that bright. You just look at the facts. DJ Screw, Pimp C, Big Mo all died at very young ages from causes that they think can be traced to cough syrup. Paul Wall recently had to get gastric bypass surgery because most people think the syrup slowed down his metabolism to the point where he weighed like 300 something pounds, and that was the only way he could get his weight under control. And now Jamarcus Russell, ex-quarterback from LSU and the Oakland Raiders, has lost tens of millions of dollars for getting caught with cough syrup and failing drug tests. And the thing, he's trying to get some help now, trying to get his way back in the league, working with John Lucas, who, if you remember him, he used to help guys out with drug problems, and now he's kind of turned drug counseling for professional athletes into a full-time job. And depending on how well you know sports, you'll either be surprised by that or not, that there's that many athletes with drug problems, but obviously there are. And I see him on ESPN, and he's saying something like, Jamarcus doesn't have a drug problem, we just got to get his weight under control and get him excited about playing football again. Well, let me get this straight. He's overweight and lethargic. Sounds like he's addicted to cough syrup. History. One of the most underrated MCs of the last 15 years is easily Talib Kweli. He came out with Mos Def. In the beginning, Mos Def kind of overshadowed him, but in the last decade, Mos Def has kind of concentrated more on acting and making movies, and Talib Kweli's musical output has been incredible. He's had a bunch of hit albums, a bunch of pretty solid singles, and really never did any bad work. So at this point in 2010, if Talib Kweli is not in your top 5 dead or alive, you got to rethink your list. Undeniably, one of the most slept on groups in the history of hip hop, my boys from Jersey, Naughty by Nature. I think they get a lot of love as far as having big party records and anthems, OPP, Hip Hop Array, songs like that. But production-wise and lyrically, I think they're really slept on. If you look at what KG did production-wise, he could make his songs hard and street, but at the same time melodic and pop, and kind of cater to both audiences. And if you look at what he did, you know, chopping up those piano samples like he did on OPP, that definitely influenced guys like the RZA. And if you look at how he was able to make songs that were, you know, hard enough for the streets, but, you know, soft enough for MTV or the radio, you know, obviously you see that in Kanye West and Swizz Beatz and guys like that today. The other thing is Tretch, I think, is criminally slept on as an MC. When you're at a baseball game and, you know, it's over the loudspeaker, hey, ho, you're kind of forgetting about what he's doing lyrically in those verses, which is just insanity. He's slowing down syllables, speeding up other syllables, making words rhyme that really shouldn't, which you definitely see today in superstars like Jay-Z and Eminem. I make a conscious effort not to get too underground in these videos, but I feel like on this one I have to talk about Def Jux because with the release of Camuteo, we like to say rest in peace to before we can go any further. With the release of his King of Hearts album last week, they're going to cease to exist. And it's just, you know, they have mad love from critics, they have an extremely dedicated fan base, myself included, and they just put out great music, but it seems just with the way the internet is and downloading music and nobody buys CDs anymore, it doesn't make sense for them to exist as a traditional record label. So, you know, good luck to those guys. And a little bit of background on that. LP was in Company Flow in the late 90s, one of the just seminal New York underground white label groups that came up on WKCR. And then, you know, Company Flow broke up. He left Raucous Records, which kind of did the underground thing, but did it wrong in the late 90s. And he kind of took everything he learned there and did it right with Def Jux. And the reason why I say that is, you know, they put out 2 or 3 really high quality albums every year for the last decade. And just when you bought a Def Jux album, you knew what you were getting. It was going to be very high quality sound, very innovative production, very innovative lyrically, and not sound like anything else out there. And it was just high quality from the sound, the packaging, the live shows were just amazing. If you get a chance to go and see any Def Jux artist in the future, definitely go and do that. Because I'm assuming these guys are not going to retire. They're all way too talented to stop making music. So if you get a chance to see Cage, Aesop Rock, LP, and you know, even the guys that were on opening acts in the last decade, kind of, you know, Slow Suicide Stimulus, Despot, Cool Calm Pete, Tame One, those guys are just sick live performers too. So get a chance, go check them out. And you know, I wish everybody on the label the best of luck in the future, and hope they keep making music and keep making that good, great music they've been making. So you know, Camuteo's album is out right now. I'm trying to track it down. I can't find it where I live in New Jersey. I'm gonna hit Fat Beats in the city this weekend. Wait a second, Fat Beats is shutting down too this month? Damn, it's a tough week to be an underground hip hop head. I'm gonna have to rock my backpack at half-mast.